9:59.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We are now live. It's 9:59. Whoops. Miss Joyce is going to take over. Maybe she needs to turn the camera. I don't know. Do you know what to do? Orientation is live. What are you doing? Okay, hold on. No, we wanted to go like that. We're going to do the back stitch bind off. Okay, so we're not professional at this. We're not like 18. Where'd my coffee go? This could be a problem, people.
Not to worry.
Not to worry? What, you want me to get right to work? Well, but it takes people a few minutes to get logged in. Like when someone says something, did someone say something?
Nope. But there's 4 people, 5 people.
Okay. It takes a minute, so we're going to give it just a little minute. I think I should be able to run and get my coffee. I don't know where it is.
Give me like that chick on the glitter channel that eats and drinks and cusses the whole time.
I might be, but I'm trying to clean up my act, remember?
Okay.
Now, if somebody says something, you got to say it. Do you want to show them my arms?
They're all beautiful.
They are.
You just want to gaze at all of them.
I know, that's why I put them all in here. Ha! Got away from me, didn't I?
And we also have white waist yarn now, folks.
I got my coffee. Hey, welcome to my craft shack. Or you could call it a craft castle.
Okay, we have 9 people on. I think it's a good time. 11 people. It's a good time to start.
Okay. 'Cause you'll be able to watch this. The key to making this back stitch bind off is how you start it and how you stop it and how you stop your project on the knitting machine. Now, I'm doing the Centro because it only has like 22 needles. And what I want to do is I'm going to lay enough material out to go around the machine 3 times. Now that's more than generous of enough to do the back stitch bind off. So then, what I want to do is I want to stop on one yarn on the last needle. Okay? This is going to make it real easy for us. Then I'm going to start with my waist yarn on the first needle. Okay? But when I'm starting out, I have to make sure that that first needle knits. Now, that is going to create a hole right here, okay? So don't panic when it does. And I've noticed that everybody does this, their tensioning on these plastic machines different. I hold it with my fingers and I can tell how much I'm squeezing. So let's get a goodly amount of waist yarn going through here. Because the other end I did every other needle cast on, and this end I'm going to do the back stitch bind off. So this is going to be an upside down baby's hat, because I normally make my baby hats the other direction. Alright, I think that's enough waist yarn, so let's take this off of the machine. Gotta go 2 rows. Cranking forward with purpose. I know you guys have been there with me before. I kind of love this little plastic machine. You just put it wherever you want. Okay, so let's get in here and take a look. Okay, so this is the last needle to knit, and then we switched over to waist yarn. Okay, get my tail threaded. It'll take me a second. How many people are watching now, Joyce?
11.
11. Cool. All right. So I'm left-handed, but it doesn't really matter. If the yarn is coming out of this stitch, I'm going to put the needle through here and the needle through here. Okay? Now, see how loose that is? You want to pull that a little snug because that's because of that big hole. All right? So, then we're going to go this way. So, if that stitch, that's 50, yeah, whatever. I can't got myself wrapped up in semantics. Don't make it so difficult. Okay? And we want to pull it taut, but we want to keep it the same tension as these guys right here. Going 2 forward and 1 back. Oh, 2 steps forward. I take 1 step back. Baby, you know it. I'm not quitting my day job. Oh, wait, I don't have a day job.
Insert eye roll.
Insert eye roll.
This does become a little bit more difficult when you're using a tighter stitch.
Like you would be on the sock machine.
Correct.
But this is a great way to learn how to do it.
Yes, and you know, with the sock, on the sock machine, you can spread your stitches apart,
Yep.
just like you're doing here, to get a, you know, a better view.
And again, this is just the way I do it, okay? And since it's not ribbed, when you do it ribbed, it's mountain to valley. I know, don't think about that right now. Just do it on stockinette until you know what you're doing, okay? Am I going too fast, Joyce?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just going to tell you to slow down on your next stitch so that we can
Okay.
see placement of the needle. Yes, and yes.
Alright, you'll also notice that my needle is appropriate for the size of the yarn. When I do sock yarn, I use a needle that's this size. When I do worsted weight yarn, I do an appropriate needle. This yarn that I'm using here, or this needle that I'm using, I would never use this fat needle on sock yarn. Even though they call it a yarn needle, they're talking about fat yarn needles. Okay. Now we're back to beginning because we know we're back to our hole. We can go ahead and do this stitch again. And then we can tuck this down in here to get it out of our way. Alright. And I'm not going to ball it up, but normally I would ball this waste yarn up because I can reuse it. If I get it going right. There we go. See, I can just wind that into a little ball and use it again to end the next hat. You can use this stuff over and over again. Now, when I get down to the project, and this is more so when you're working with sock yarn, if you might have to snip, if you get some of the waste yarn fibers in there, you might have to snip it. I don't think that's ever going to be a baby hat. That would be one tiny So, here's my back stitch bind off.
And the finished edge looks so nice and neat.
The finished edge does look nice and neat. So there you go. Thanks for joining me here in my craft shack. I'm in Castle.